clear given?
We never
Guys, there's an active shooter here in Arlington, Texas.
Right now,
I'm bringing you live footage right now.
People just really concerned. These school buses, we're told, are going to transport students to the Performing Arts Center, and that is where parents can reunite with their students. I do want to bring in now Calvin Basir.
They said a person with a weapon is believed to be on the campus of Timberview High School in the 7,000 block of South Watson Road in Arlington.
It was a text in our family group. So he sent a text that there was a shooting and they have a lockdown in school. And that was a what?
And that was at what time?
Maybe 30 minutes ago, 1 hour ago.
Okay. And you actually spoke with him as well shortly after that text message. What was that conversation like?
He was in a panic state and he told me they were having a lockdown. He had some gunshots and they're in their rooms now.
Could you hear the panic in the rooms with all the students there and the teachers there? Was there chaos in the background?
There a little bit of some yelling, directions being given, but the boy was kind of scared. He texted the family, and I had to leave work to come up here.
So your son, what's your son's name?
Simon.
Simon. So tell me what you feel that Simon is experiencing and feeling right now in this state of lockdown at the school.
He's in some fear based on the history of the shooting in schools, but so far we have not been told of any fatality or anything like that. So, and we talked to him and we think he should be okay.
And how are you feeling as a parent?
Panicked right now.
Oh my God.
Because they said they've not got the person yet.
At a high school.
And so at this point, you will reunite with Simon at the Performing Arts Center. Are you waiting to do that?
Yes, I'm going to leave and go over there because all of them are going to the same place.
Okay. All right. Thank you so much, Calvin, for that. We really appreciate it. Again, you can see this long line of buses all geared up to transport those students to the Performing Arts Center. I can tell you, we spoke with a woman a short time ago. Her son is a 9th grader, and she said her son was very, very calm. Her son was very straightforward, and he said, we are safe in the classroom. And that was certainly good news for her at the time. But since then, she has not been able to speak with her son. So, of course, there is fear, there is anxiety, and there is panic with regards to that. Along this highway here, when we came into the area, there were cars lining the streets.
They're saying that multiple people were wounded this morning
with their phones, trying to get as much information as they could from people who could help them. Many of them said they just couldn't get the answers they were looking for. But most of them, most of the people I spoke with today said they did make contact with their child. And for that, they are very grateful. Back into you.
Yeah, understandably so. Nicole, thank you so much for that report. Ken, we should mention the fact that Mansfield ISD was able to get these buses in line in such a short amount of time kind of shows that they train for these situations. As unfortunate and as no one wants these situations to occur, they are obviously prepared and ready in the event that a situation like this would happen on one of their campuses.
I was having the same thought because we heard from Arlington Police earlier on sort of the next steps, right? You know, how all of this was going to play out. They talked about completing their methodical search. They talked about setting up a parent pickup point.
Arlington is right outside of Fort Worth and Dallas.
Were going to come
That's where I
to the
normally
school
stay
to start,
when I'm in Dallas.
you know, getting the kids out of there and take them over to the reunification center. And then all of a sudden, really within about 20, 25 minutes, we started to see that long line of buses show up.
Oh my
God.
And
really, it speaks, like you say, to their preparedness, unfortunately, to the fact that they've had to think about this before. And it also speaks to the ability that they had to sort of mobilize as quickly as they did, because the buses are already out there. They're ready to take the kids. We're just waiting to see these evacuations begin.
Yeah. And again, we have the latest information from confirmed sources, and those confirmed sources include Mansfield ISD as well as Arlington Police, who is handling the investigation. If you're not familiar with Timberview High School, it's actually in city of Arlington. So that is why Arlington Police is taking the lead as far as disseminating any information. But again, Mansfield ISD, Arlington Police, other neighboring law enforcement agencies are currently investigating that active shooter situation at Timberview High School. But the good news is the all clear has been given, and Mansfield ISD is who sent out that all clear, Ken. So you do have to understand that likely parents at this point have also received that notification from the school district.
And all clear, again, doesn't mean that everything resumes back to the way it was before.
Now, who was
9:36
shooting?
this
They're
morning.
not saying
This is still very much a long, drawn-out process that will have to take place here, including the way in which the students will be evacuated, loaded onto those buses, and taken over to reunite with their parents over at the Center for Performing Arts. So all of this, folks, you're going to have a little bit of patience. I know that for parents and for concerned loved ones, that's a lot to ask of right now, but you are going to have to exercise as much patience as you can and let the authorities and the officials do what they need to do so that they can carry out this process as seamlessly as possible. And of course, we have to mention that this is now, in fact, a crime scene, right? I mean, there's a lot of documentation that's going to have to happen afterwards. Madison was speaking about this earlier. More than likely, there are students who are witnesses to whatever happened inside there, and they're going to have to be spoken to and sort of give statements. And so, again, it's not going to go back to the way it was.
So they haven't found the shooter
this morning. This is very much a process that needs to play out.
And Ken, we, like the rest of the community right now, are watching this play out. And we too are humans, and we can humanize the situation by saying CBS 11 has an employee that also has a student at this high school and was going through those same steps that every parent that has a student at this high school was going through, trying to make contact with their child. So this is something that even if you don't have a student at Timberview High School, it affects you because you realize this is the world we live in where this is a possibility at a school.
At this day and age, hard to believe that this couldn't or wouldn't affect you in some way or shape or form because, unfortunately, we just hear about these types of incidents way too often. But again, what you're seeing right now is a prepared plan being executed by law enforcement and school officials in Mansfield down there at Timberview High School. Again, that unification center at the 1110 West Debbie Street. If you're just joining us, that is the location where parents are being asked to go to. You're being asked to stay away from this school at all costs. Really, there's no getting in, even if you try.
I mean, we saw from not only Nicole's shot right on the service road, it looks like there is
this may be the first group. Here we go.
First group of students leaving. This is not the main building of Timberview High School, but it looks like this may be an adjunct building.
Yes.
Possibly a gym. We're not exactly sure what building that is, but it does look like the first group of students
another shooting in Houston.
Was
it this past week?
Police again
at a charter
have the situation
school.
under control.
Crazy.
The students that are leaving this building are safe. They're all accounted for, and now they are working on the process of getting these students on that long line of buses that we've seen pile up along the service road.
We've been talking a lot about perspective and timelines throughout the morning as we've been covering this story here. And I want to, because I just made a note here, it is 11:13 right now. First calls went out at 9:36. So if you're doing the math here, a little less than 2 hours after the initial calls for this is when we're seeing the first group of students now being escorted out of that adjacent building that you talked about, Madison. More than likely, they're going to be directed, and they are receiving a police escort, by the way, so they're safe. And they are being directed to those buses that are on standby on the, I guess, what is that, the south side of the school?
Yeah, it looks like the buses are on the south side. This would be something that is the.
So guys, this is crazy because last week, well, not last week, was it Friday? We had another student, one ex-student that went to a prep school here in the Southwest Houston and shot the administrator. The administrator wasn't killed. It was an aggravated assault. So what was the guy? Eric Espinoza. He was the administrator at the school, and this is crazy. And they said, well, the guy's name that did it was Dexter Kelsley, and I think he had a $5 million bond. And this just happened, and he was an ex-student. Okay, 25 years old. You go back to a prep school. Yes Academy here in Houston on the Southwest side, and you shoot the administrator. Don't know why he's not giving an explanation why he did this, and this is crazy. But the principal or the administrator was actually hit in the back, and this is just crazy. But I just wanted to bring you this, guys. It is live streaming on CBS, NBC, any stations you can find in Houston. They are live streaming the story. And let me see before I get out of here. There's another one that's streaming it. Let me see about that. My throat is still killing me. Let's see. Police shooting. Let's see. Share it. Hold on. Let me. Why? Oh, there's my sound.
Texas. This is the scene above Timberview High School. This is Arlington, Texas. Timberview High School is currently on lockdown. We're told that the Mansfield Police Department, the Arlington Police Department, they're on the scene investigating what appears to be an active shooter situation. We do not have a lot of details right now, but we can tell you that police are on the scene at Timberview High School because there is an active shooter. Students, staff locked in classrooms, offices as well. No visitors being permitted at this time, but right now you can see some fire trucks, some other emergency vehicles.
As we heard
outside.
that they actually evacuate. Well, they're now evacuating the students to the performing arts building. Lots of the schools here in the Texas area are huge, so they're now evacuating these students. There are multiple reports of multiple injuries. They haven't reported any deaths at this time, and hopefully, and I'm praying there's not. But I just wanted to bring you that. Also, Jeffrey Pashaw's trial will be starting, and I'm going to live stream that for a little bit. But I just wanted you guys to be aware of what's going on here in Houston. Well, in Arlington, right outside of Dallas. I will see you guys later. Bye. Have a good day. Be safe.